Okay. I'll call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock. And we'll go ahead and start with roll call. Curtis.
Ching.
Here.
Deputy Swanee. Deputy Swanee, absent. Dela Cruz. Dubiat. Eberhard. Fujinaka, online. Galant,
Here.
online.
Online, sorry.
Oano,
Here,
Online.
online.
Kirby.
Here.
Kirchman.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Mitchell,
Online.
online. Nakamoto. Absent. Salasa. Silva. Absent. Steelquist.
Present.
Char. Chair, you have quorum with 14 members present.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much, Curtis. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with the Honolulu Fire Department. Not here. We'll circle back to them. HBD.
Good evening. Is this on? Okay, it's on. Sergeant Brian Morris, most of you know me. I come every now and then when it's my day. I'll give you the stats for July of 26. Again, we're 1 month behind. This month isn't done to give you the current stats. This is only the reported cases. I'm sure there's more. This is the ones that we had reported. For July, there have been 6 reported auto thefts, 9 the month before. For burglaries, 5 reported burglaries, 5 the month before. For thefts of all degrees, 23 this month or July, 14 the previous month. Car break-ins, UEMBs, 3 this month, 7 the month before. All assaults, 4 and 4 the month before prior. 6 assaults, 1 for July, none the month before. Graffitis, 0 in July. Again, reported graffitis, 0 in July, 1 the previous month. Drug cases, 4 the previous month, and then 4 this month as well. Motor vehicle crashes, that's always the big one. 93 in July, 84 the month before. Total calls for service, 1,815 or 1,815. The month before, a little less, 1,752. That's the stats for July. I guess advice I can give. I'm glad you all survived the storm. Hope we didn't lose power. I lost it for 36 hours, but I hope you guys didn't lose any power. Another storm's coming. If you guys haven't heard, it's supposed to hit south of us, but we're still gonna get rain. That being said, school started back up. Kids are everywhere. Please be careful driving. Look between cars because young kids can dart out at it anywhere. And I open up to any questions you guys might have.
Thank you very much, Sergeant. Linda.
Aloha and mahalo for your service to our community. In the light of September 11th, which is coming up in 2 or 3 weeks from now, I just wanted to say to all of our first responders, military, and everybody that is on the front lines that protects us, thank you so very much for everything that you do. September 11th is also, as we all know, the anniversary of Iniki. And so I'd like to encourage what you just said about being prepared and knowing what to do. And so my question for you is there anything you would suggest for like kupuna or people who might need help during a storm? Like I can walk, but not everybody can walk. I'm mobile. I can get up. I can go. If I need to go to the shelter at Roosevelt High School, I can walk there. I can take if public transportation is working. But if there's anyone who, for some reason, doesn't have a neighbor that can help them get to the evacuation center, do you have any suggestions of what we should do? Because we're preparing again for another storm. So what would you say?
Are you asking me because I have white hair?
No, I'm asking because people don't know what to do, and we need to make sure that all of our neighbors are taken care of. All of our neighbors are taken care of.
For Kapuna, I would more suggest on them, if you have a neighbor or somebody in your area that is elderly, hard to get around, maybe check on them. Set something up with them prior, because a lot of elderly that I come across, they don't want help. until they're stuck. Maybe being the younger generation, some of us, hopefully I consider me that too, check on your neighbors. You know, have a plan for them. Should they get stuck, like my house, 36 hours without power, know what to do with them, get them to shelter if they need. Because a lot of them, when the bus shuts down, which the bus shut down, I believe Saturday night, right? Yeah, something like that. So I don't know what time Sunday morning, but I know it was shut down. Check on them. The phones might be down, power might be down, but they might need a ride. Before the hurricanes, before bad weather, have them check medicines. Have enough for 2 or 3 weeks. You know, most pharmacies will help you out, or doctors help us and get the prescription, that kind of thing. But check on your neighbors. They might not want the help. Check on them. That'd be my advice.
Thank you, Linda.
Yep.
Adam.
So I have two things. One, I had a resident just last night whose 10-year-old child wandered out of the condominium building that I manage. And he wanted me to express his gratitude to the police department for all the help they did to locate him. And it was gone for like 6 hours. And it was very stressful. So he wanted to thank you for and all the police department involved. You guys sent out the drone and was looking around at night for the kid, and ultimately the kid just wandered home like proud of himself. But yeah, I just wanted to like pass on that information to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The other thing that I wanted to mention, the day after our last board meeting was a Thursday. I had an individual at 11:30 a.m. smoking meth in front of Yobo Mart on Pensacola Avenue on the sidewalk. When I confronted him about it, myself, an employee of mine, he denied it. And then I told him, your pipe is in your lap. Like I can see it.
Yeah.
He told me he was burning incense. Anyway, it took me telling him to get going. He took a swing at my employee. He shoved me. So there was a physical altercation. He threw things at me. I got him off the property. And while all this is going on, I'm calling HPD. I'm watching the guy go down the street, still every once in a while turning around, yelling and cursing at me, going on the street. The police did show up, 2 squad cars. I told him, there he is. He's got his pipe in his bag. I saw him put it there. He assaulted me. I'd like to have him trespassed, and I'd like to press charges. They drove down the road. I saw the taillights go open, like turn up, like they slowed down, and they just drove right past it.
Do you have the report number? I can look it up. I was off the next
They
day.
didn't come back to do a report or anything.
There
They
was
just,
nothing.
and just took off. And
Okay.
so I understand the idea and how difficult it is to the idea of a rotating door of just, you'll be put away for 24 hours and let loose. And I can understand the frustration from the police department and officers having to deal with this, going through the paperwork, going through, and it might be a physical altercation. And then to have in the end, it's just going to be released. But at some point, some area needs to put the foot down. Otherwise, I mean, he was doing it in front of little kids, like it was nothing. So I don't know which department or what area of our justice system needs to like start doing the job, but that was not okay.
I can speak for our side. For safety for you, I mean, if this guy's punchy or this guy's mouthy, call us before you confront him. I know you hate to do it, but we want to catch him in the act. You know what I mean? I mean, especially with the pipe in his lap, we want to catch him in the act. Was he burning oregano or incense? Probably not. But we want to catch him in the act. And before you get your swung at or things thrown at you, that kind of stuff, we'll come down. We have to. You know what I mean? They're going to send 2 cars before he could have taken off. He'd still be there if we would have called before. I don't want you guys to get hurt. We get hurt as part of the job. I don't want you to get hurt. Let's catch him in the act before it gets to that point. As for what system needs, I guess, overhaul, a lot of systems need an overhaul. I know what you're saying. We arrest people that are out sometimes before the report's done, depending on the charge. I do see it starting to change, but over 26 years, it needs to move faster. You know what I mean? But please call us. I mean,
the person that was in the first police squad car, I recognized his face. I can't remember his name, but he had 4 stars. So the guy had been around for a while.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he recognized the character
yeah.
and was just like, I don't want to deal with this. It just kept going.
I can check the next day, Pensacola area, for any reports that were made. Again, I was off that day. I'm not sure what was done that day, but I can check on it. And if they should have come back, I'll talk to them and let's take care of this. I mean, because if you were assaulted, we should have come back and at least talked to you, given your report number. I'll check into that. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Arthur.
Sergeant, I want to report to you that for the last 2 months, we've had the motorcycle gangs Fridays and Saturdays speeding down Baratania, stopping somewhere around Thomas Square, revving up good and heavy, and then going up a ward to the freeway. And it's every Friday and Saturday from about 9:30 to 11. It stopped for a little while when you guys clamped down on it, but it's back for the last 2 months.
Well, lucky for us, we have the night watch lieutenant over there. I think he's hiding from me, but he's listening. We'll talk to him. I'll make sure he's real good. He'll get the night watch guys. Because it's more at night, correct? I don't see him during the day. And it's Friday and Saturday. Okay. We'll put some work into that and try and boil that before it gets to be any bigger of a problem. Sure.
Thank you, Arthur. Okay, let's get Grant, Linda, and Claire. Grant.
Good evening, sir. I have a question. Do you feel supported when it comes to indecent exposure and homeless population on the streets? Several times in the last week, I've seen male genitalia with my daughter in the car, and I was curious if the police department is adequately supported legally and administratively to take care of that, so children aren't exposed to that on the road.
We see it. We get the calls. A lot of the people are in some sort of mental crisis, and then we take care of it as such. Supported, yeah, like any other crime. I mean, same support, but it's sometimes they don't know what they're doing because of their mental, capacity. Then we will call a doctor and maybe go the medical route.
Okay, does that result in them being locked up or taken out of society where they're exposing themselves to children?
If a doctor says they're a danger to themselves, we'll take them to the hospital involuntarily. If we get a complainant, or sometimes we come across it ourselves, but if we get a call, we'd like to meet with somebody to point out, because a lot of times we get there and they're dressed. And if, for example, you call, say what's going on, we get there, they have pants on. We don't have any complainant to make the case. Yeah. So kind of sometimes it depends on somebody staying back and saying, that's the guy, give a statement, we can take. It sometimes depends on them.
And how is that represented in the statistics that you report?
It's there's a lot of things that aren't in here. This is the main things that are in here. Nothing about that is in here.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Grant. Linda.
I also have the same concern. A resident talked to me and shared that at 9 a.m. in broad daylight, a man was pleasuring himself near a public bus stop very close to this park. I have the police report number, and a little girl shouldn't see this. This person was also on the news and reported it there as well. So I just want to reiterate and support your concerns that while it seems like it's something that happens all the time, not that it's a gateway or you want to make things worse, but we need to be prepared and protect our keiki and our kupuna and everybody in between, because we don't want anyone to have to deal with this. So let's see. My question is there anything else that we can do? Should we take a picture? Should we, in addition to the great advice you already gave, what else should we do?
Minimum is call. Like I said, we'll go assess it. Now, we get there, a lot of times, whatever was going on minutes earlier is not going on. We can't make a criminal case if we don't see a criminal violation. You can't do this because somebody called 911. If we make a criminal case, somebody has to stay back and let us know they're fronted. Now, if we come across it in the scope of the day, we can take care of it a couple of ways. But typically, if you're calling saying it's happening in front of the kids, we need somebody to meet with us to make the case. Could be kids, but the kids have to talk to their parents too, yeah. But again, it could be a mental thing. We see it. We're gonna call the doctor. If we think they're in crisis, the doctor can say yes or no, bring them in, or don't bring them in, depending on the situation, yeah.
If it goes down the mental pathway, is there still no criminal?
Normally, if it goes on the mental
Repercussions.
pathway for something like that, that means they're not in the right mental frame of mind to know what they're doing. I mean, they're a danger to themselves or others. The danger to the others would be these kids seeing this, like she said, male pleasuring himself. We don't want that.
So do you think that's a legal loophole we need to work with our
No,
House representatives to
I'm not-
fix?
I'm not saying that. The person might be in mental crisis and needs some sort of mental therapy, is what I'm saying there.
Thank you, Linda and Grant. Claire.
Thank you, Chair.
Point of order. My hand's up.
I'll get to you after Claire. Janelle. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Janelle, for your grace. Sergeant Morris.
Hello.
Hi, I have a picture of you from yesterday, the crash at the five-way intersection.
It wasn't, actually, it was just, even the glass, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a crash.
Oh, what was it?
A truck going by had those two big,
Panels.
on the side and the windows fell off. There was no crash.
My neighbor texted me a picture with you in the middle of the street. She said, "Did you hear a crash?" I said, "No." So I texted Nate and we didn't know anything about a crash, but it appeared because the workers were cleaning up glass and there were two police vehicles.
Yeah, they volunteer help. Those guys from the building that are being built up there, they
Yeah.
volunteered to help. They brought their brooms out because we don't carry big enough brooms to do that in a timely manner.
Oh, very good. So the crash was not a vehicular crash.
It was just a car going with glass that fell off onto the road there.
Right in that intersection.
Yeah.
I almost got nailed there this morning. Somebody piggybacking onto, somebody stopped, but the guy behind him decided he's going to sneak across behind him. It almost nailed me. I'm still trying to work with DTS to get those flashing stop signs. They were supposed to be installed in June. Now it's end of August. Now it's nebulous. I'm not sure what's going on. So anything you can do to help us get that. It's supposed to have happened already to try and slow the traffic.
They would be the ones to talk to. I think they come in handy. I do. I think they need them out there. That'd be great.
Yeah.
We still check out there daily. I go up. I know if you know Corporal Mizushima or Officer Mizushima, he's always up there checking. We check.
Oh, yeah, I was standing out there with him one time and somebody right in front of
Yeah.
the police officer blew the stop sign, so he took off and got him.
We just,
Yeah.
you know, as we're up there, we stop and we
It's-
make sure.
It's so problematic, but to get action from DTS, we're hitting these stumbling blocks. So if you have any pull in there, you know.
I can call it you, Ken. That's all I can do.
My other issue is, you know, that 1617 is being constructed. The
Right.
construction workers glom up all the parking stalls, all 7 of them on Alapai Street. So the people who live next door in 1623 have taken to coming into our building and taking our parking. We are an owner occupied building. We pay for our parking stalls. Trespassing, there's no trespassing signs all over the place. So I did, and the lady I questioned once she put the car in park, took off her seatbelt and came after me all the way to my elevator. Finally, I said, "You see that camera up there? You're being recorded. Think about your next move." So I thought I was about to get killed there. Officer Mitchell responded and he was very professional and said nighttime would keep an eye on the parking because it's happened 3 times now. It's not just a one only,
Is it at night though? They're parking in your,
night and day. So,
do you guys have a contracted tow company that comes in there and takes cars?
not that we've utilized, so,
I might suggest it because if it's in private parking, then not a lot we can do. You
yeah,
have to call your own tow.
the calling the police was because she came after me.
Well,
you
that's
know.
something different. Yeah, that's something. Well, of course we'll come to that.
Okay, so just please keeping an eye because they're still doing the illegal parking all day long and blocking the road and just wreaking havoc on all of us. It's just a tiny narrow road to be building on.
Okay, we do still, but we will continue.
Thank you, Sergeant. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Claire. Okay, sorry for the folks online. I see. I'll get them in order. So Richard, Janelle, and then Nancy, and then we'll take just those 3. So Richard.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Sergeant, I want to report some suspected drug dealing if I give you my phone number, would you willing to call me? Oh, either after you're finished here?
I don't know if you want to put your phone number online on this. And
Oh,
maybe
okay.
somebody here has this number I could call them. I would rather not have it on there.
Yeah, I have this.
I'll get your number
Right,
after.
okay. Nathan, do you have my phone number?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So, yeah, Sergeant, I'll be waiting for your call. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. Janelle.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Sergeant, for your report today. With the concerns that were brought up by our board members in regards to our houseless neighbors, as well as some individuals that are utilizing illegal substances in the district, have you guys partnered with CARE or with IHS to support you folks with regards to getting treatment support besides just taking these individuals directly into custody?
There's a group called CORE. Have you heard of CORE? It runs with
Yes,
the
sir.
EMS. We have a unit that works with them, and the head doctor, I can't think of his name, my mind's blanking. Is it Ireland? Possibly Dr. Ireland. By the way, we're with them like probably 3 or 4 days a week. We're finding certain individuals that might need help, and then we work with them and we take them to that, there's a place in Clee we can take them to get help. So yes, we are.
Okay,
Typically, it's
so
not patrol. Typically, it's not patrol. It's the special unit that goes with the CORE unit, but we do daily.
so with regards to residents or my fellow neighborhood board members' concerns, could they also reach out to IHS or to CORE in order to get some of these individuals this help that they assume they need?
Of course, at any time we come across them in a law enforcement perspective, for example, I don't know, whatever, some sort of violation we come across, we always offer assistance. We always do. They almost never take it, but we always offer assistance. Some do, and it's great. I've seen 3 or 4 in the last couple of months. I've taken the assistance and they've gotten help, but they have to want the help.
So regular residents are able to contact CORE or IHS besides contacting HPD to get these people the support that they need.
Sure. If anything, they can tell you where to go. If there's other avenues, they could tell you more than I could. They'd be the ones to talk to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. Nancy.
Hi, everybody. It just took me 2 hours and 20 minutes to get back from Pupukea. I was volunteering out there. Anybody that needs, I just want to say first, anybody that needs help in Makiki, reach out to the Honolulu.gov page or ready.hawaii.gov page. There's a lot of people with collapsed roofs and etc. So let us know. And maybe we can direct you to one of the city pages if you don't know what it is. Number 2, I've noticed a lot of people driving still in the bike lane over here. I saw a guy drive from my street, Palm Drive, all the way down to Pi'ikoi on Monday. I don't know what we can do about that, but you guys got to see it. So I'm just putting that out there. And I did mention it to DTS at the meeting on this week. Also, Pi'ikoi, as we know, is still a big problem. I know you guys only have so much staff, but I've been going out a lot this week, and every day this week, there's somebody blocking the intersections, or there's some kind of dangerous activity happening over there every single time that I take that turn or go down, from King to Pi'ikoi around to get on the freeway. I know you guys can't sit there every minute of every day, but I think something more needs to be done. So.
Well, I know I've given tags there, tickets when I see the violation. Other officers have given tickets there. It's all day long, right? It's pretty much from sun up to end of rush hour, correct?
Yeah, and I saw 3 incidents like back to back to back. The day before yesterday. One person almost got hit, a pedestrian, and just numerous violations, just constantly. And I know that it's also a DTS, a technical issue as far as what they're going to do with the plan that's coming. But that's, 2027, 2028. So we can't wait 2 years to address the problems that are happening over there. So I think we just need more action in that spot. It's just such a bad spot.
The problem over there, first of all, I think the intersections are too small for the population, way too small. I wasn't expecting to have this many cars. Like I said, we do address it. We cite if we see violations. Another problem is everybody from the island uses that same roads. So today you can ticket somebody from Kaneohe, tomorrow from Kahuku, the next day from Waianae. It's all different people doing exactly the same thing. Rest assured, we are citing when we see the violations. We can't sit there all day. We do projects on occasion. And I'm sure we'll do more. I'm sure more in the works. We'll do more projects. But we see the violations, we do address them.
Yes, thank you. I think there does need to be more in that spot because it's just such a constant problem. So if you guys talk that out and figure out how you can get someone out there a little bit more frequently. Thank you. And thank you for everything that you do. Thank you. Okay, guys.
Thank you, Nancy. Okay. Yeah, very short, please. Richard, well, I saw actually Amanda's hand up first. Yeah.
Hi, thank you so much for being here. I have a quick question about statistics because we know with the traffic, DTS relies on HPD statistics. I've been going through with the support of another officer, seeing the motor vehicle crashes, minor versus major. And my understanding is there's a $3,000 limit that kind of determines that minor versus major, otherwise death or injury. I'm noticing we're having a lot of minors, even though they're like rollover crashes, multiple car crashes and stuff. And I'm just noticing like, are they ever adjusted to major after, insurance gets involved and whatnot? Because I know that the data, they really prioritize doing traffic mitigation with motor vehicle majors, not so much minors. So I'm worried that, I don't want to assume, I'm just worried that there's a lot of minors that should be majors. And I think that's what the community is seeing and feeling and being a part of, unfortunately, but they're being classified as minors. I don't know why. So that's just my only question is, I guess, what does that look like whenever the accident is worse? Does it ever get changed on the report to then justify the statistic?
Majors and minors are more than just the value of the car. Majors, like you said, medical, the real bad ones are always a major. Government vehicles, it could be a postal truck that backs into a pole, a scratch. It's a major government vehicle. Military, police cars, every one of them is a major. It's a full investigation. As for what the $3,000 threshold, we're not, as officers, we're not appraisers. I mean, I don't know how much a car costs. I backed into a pool last month. I didn't think my car was anywhere near $33,000 damage. It was $4,000. I never would have guessed it. It was my fault. I hit a pole, but I have no clue how much a car costs to fix. I mean, so we go off of that. Some cars I've come across that are upside down aren't worth $3,000 for the whole car. A lot of them are barely running, even upside down. But it mostly depends as to whether it changed later on. No, I don't think so. It's a minor, it stays a minor. Insurance companies may change it on their end, but on our end, we're not going to change it. If there's somebody injured, it won't be a minor. I'll leave it there. Sure.
Thank you, Amanda. Richard.
Yeah, real short. Iolani and Magellan still has a lot of people parking there illegally, and there's some people living in their cars over there. Are they going to take the signs down, or you just going to let them park there?
What signs are you referring to?
No parking signs. There's like no parking on both sides of the street.
I know the area. A lot of signs over in that area.
But there's like tons of people parking there and nobody's getting ticketed.
Are they sweeping? Nobody's getting a ticket? Because I know we have cited there before.
Yeah, nobody's getting a ticket. I drive by, there's tons of cars. Nobody's got a ticket.
That's a pandemic all across Makiki. People's parking wherever they want, no tickets being.
Well, we have. I don't know which day you're talking. We have ticketed over there. As for the leaving in their cars, is that at night?
No, it's during the day.
All day long? We can address, I can check on that, have the guys check on that. I mean, I'll check the signs, see what we can do. No parking both sides, right? But there's cars on both sides, right? Okay. We'll check into it. Iolani Magellan.
Thank you, Richard.
And Davenport.
Okay, Davenport too.
Okay, and then yeah, in the interest of time, we'll go ahead and thank you very much, Sergeant and Lieutenant, for coming down. Just one more thing before they head out, since we're still on HPD, is the assistant to the chief let me know that the Chief Lazar will be showing up in November. So again, thank you very much. Take care, guys. Okay, next up, Board of Water Supply. Oh.
Aloha, thank you. I'm just here tonight. Stephen and Michelle are both out traveling, so I decided to come down because I have handed out to you guys. Last time I was here, we talked about the project down on Pensacola. So I handed you out a new sheet, a new schedule of information. This one's a lot easier to read, and it goes through the end of next week, and we will continue providing you with updated information every month. We did have one water main break on Mauna Loa Road on July 14th. It was a 4-inch main, and we don't know what the installation year was. It was an old pipe. And also some other Pensacola updates. So the following work is currently being done. We're doing work at the Davenport intersection. We're constructing a new below-grade concrete valve box. The concrete floor was poured at the end of July. Below Davenport, before Hassinger, installation of line stop piping and a valve is underway in preparation for the construction of a new concrete valve box. Luna Lilo intersection, installation work on a new 24-inch and 12-inch water line is continuing. Kinau intersection, excavation is ongoing for installation of steel shoring in preparation for additional excavation and construction of a new concrete valve box. And I've also been in touch with Travis Council from the Hawaii Bike League and updating him on the issues regarding the bike lane. Any questions?
Any questions for Kathleen? Oh, Janelle.
Hi, thank you, Kathleen, for coming and reporting. I'm sorry, I can't see the report currently. My concern is with the current construction. Do we know what percentage we're at? And then when are we going to repave the road? Because that has become a major issue with the construction, having the steel plates sometimes not completely even with the roadway. So if that's something that BWS can address with the contractors, because that could damage people's tires or their cars.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, we will be repaving the entire road once the work is done. If you know of a plate that is moving, please contact me, 808-748-5319. Last time I gave you guys my cell number. That's my office number. Call me and we'll make sure the contractor takes care of it. They've been really, really super good about taking care of everything immediately. So we'll get that taken care of right away. And I'm sorry, ma'am, the first part of your question was?
What percentage are we done with this project? Yeah.
When I was here, I believe in June, we were at 60%. So we're probably closer to 65 at this point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. Yes. And if you could give us your name, please.
Yes. My name, again, is Jason Collins, resident of Makiki for the last number of, I don't know, 14 years or so. Not sure if you heard about the person that spoke up in May, but that was me. So. Sorry, your name again? Yeah. Oh, you're Kathleen. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. I was talking to the officer. I didn't catch that. Sorry, I'm a prepared person. Just easier for me. So first of all, want to thank you guys. You've put some updates now on the website so that 2023 is no longer the latest information. Although it doesn't reflect what's actually happening. So yeah, but the leg right now we're sitting at is 41 days. I live right in the midst of phase 3. Phase 3 was supposed to be done July 10th, per what the website says right now. Well, if you're driving down and you want us to let you know about steel plates, just go sit outside my building for a few minutes. 1532 Pensacola. My floor rattles, my windows rattle, and my walls shake because the plates are so loose, and they have been for the last few days. So other than that, I think Janelle asked my other questions, which is where the heck are we at? So yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, are there any further questions for Kathleen? Seeing none, thank you very much for presenting again on the Pensacola Street project. Okay. Next up, we have filling a vacant at-large and election of treasurer. Oh, there is no vacancy. And then is there anybody willing to be a treasurer? Hey. Oh, is there a nomination? Okay.
I nominate.
Oh, you nominate Amanda?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Second.
Are there any further nominations? Seeing none, Curtis. You'd like to roll? Oh, are we missing?
We'll do a quick roll call. Amanda Kirby is your treasurer, nominee for treasurer. Please indicate if you're voting for Amanda. Ching. Kirby. Dela Cruz. Depico Swane. Is Depico Swane still with us online? All right, we'll circle back. Dubiak.
Amanda.
Eberhard. Amanda. Fujinaka.
Eberhard. Amanda, sorry.
Amanda Kirby. Okay. Gallant.
Amanda.
Kawano.
Kirby.
Kirby. Kirchman.
Amanda.
Lee. Amanda. Mitchell.
Amanda.
Nakamoto is absent. Salasa. Silva is absent. Stilquist.
Amanda.
And Char. 14 votes for Amanda Kirby, who is elected your treasurer.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Amanda, for stepping up. Okay, moving on to elected official reports, starting with Mayor Rick Blangiardi's Representative Megan Johnson.
Hello, good evening. Megan Johnson on behalf of the mayor. In the interest of time, a written report with responses to questions posed at the July meeting was sent to Chair Char, and you can let me know if you have any questions. I also dropped a link to the mayor's August newsletter in the chat, and I also just wanted to share, since we're in storm recovery response, that everyone can visit One Oahu, that's all spelled out ONEOAHU.org for information about the city's storm-related response. If anyone has any questions, I'm available.
Okay, are there any questions? Oh, Arthur.
I've been getting a lot of questions from neighbors around Thomas Square. They're wondering, and by the way, and I've contacted Parks and Recreation. They're wondering why the fountain in Thomas Square is no longer operational. It's been the entire year not working.
Okay, I can submit an inquiry. I don't personally know, but I can put in a request to find out.
I personally called Parks and Recreation and I never got an answer back.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, and I will try to get an answer for you before the next meeting.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Arthur. Janelle.
Thank you, Chair. Thanks, Megan. I had a question and inquiry. So
Yes.
as we prepare for the next storm that's possibly going to come, but even for future ones, is Makiki District Park or any of the neighboring parks like the Papakolea Park actually ready for any type of assistance to the community should the schools not have enough capacity to help to house people? Like, would that be a possibility the city would introduce or like try to utilize during that time frame?
I can certainly pose that question. I think that's a question for the Department of Emergency Management. So I can definitely pose that question to them and try to get a response as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. Are there any further questions for the mayor's rep? Oh, Dylan.
Mahalo Nui, Chair Char. My name's Dylan Armstrong, former Makiki resident, long time in Manoa, where I'm currently on that board. But I noticed that this board really gets some amazing talent and knowledge. And I just thought a question to pose before the board in front of the mayor's rep is, would the board be interested at some future point in having Ms. Johnson do a presentation on what her department DCS does, maybe how it affects Makiki? And I certainly would be interested in learning more if that is germane to your board's business. Mahalo.
Hi, thank you for the inquiry. So just to be clear, and I'm happy to present information about my department, but I'm actually with the Department of Customer Services. So, but DCS is the Department of Community Services, which provides a lot of social services. So just want to clarify if you want more information about the Department of Community Services or the Department of Customer Services. We are
Pardon the-
CSD, sorry, and then the other one is DCS. I know it's confusing because we both are the department of a C and an S, but I don't want to provide information about something that wasn't what you were thinking about. I'm thinking that maybe you want a report from the Department of Community Services, probably.
Well, as great as that would be, just simply deferring to your expertise for your wheelhouse. Sorry for the misstatement.
Oh, no problem. I'm happy to provide something. We essentially administer the DMV and the satellite city hall. So I'm not sure if it's something topical to a specific neighborhood, which is why I was thinking perhaps it was the Department of Community Services.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
He ran away. Why you run away?
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Dylan. Ian.
Thank you, Chair Char. I have a question for the mayor's rep, or at least a comment. So residents from Liho have shared with me that there is a growing encampment again under the bridge there. There's been a growing larger group of people, and specifically there's a large accumulation of stuff with another tropical system strengthening nearby. I just want to encourage the city to consider outreach to the folks living under there, and especially looking at the stuff as it might block some of the waterway. Just something I wanted to bring up for the mayor's rep as some of the residents on that street reached out. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Thank you, Ian. Okay. Any further questions? Chuck.
This is just a question regarding the officials' reports. It has nothing to do with Megan, but I just wanted to ask this of all the legislators that we have when they submit their reports. I asked this before, but I don't know if I ever got a completely clear and concise answer. But is there any way that they could, the officials could send their reports a day or two in advance? I know I see Senator Fukunaga here, and she's one of those that sends it usually 1 or 2 days in advance. So, you know, I can read it, but you know, when you say you're going to drop something in the chat, we're already at the meeting. So we're going to have to look at it either during the meeting or after. So unless there's a rule that says they can't send it out to us, I'd like to request that they send it out a day or two in advance of our meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, just to clarify, what I dropped into the mayor's newsletter, which is different than so Chair Char had asked, just because, you usually have a very full agenda. So in the interest of time, he had asked me, several months ago to simply provide, to submit to the board via him, a written report in response to all of the questions that were posed at the prior month's meeting. So we submit those to him. And so, I'm not sure then how he disseminates it to all of you, but I'm not dropping, my report into the chat. It's submitted to Chair Char. So perhaps, that you all could coordinate on how to get that to him, because I'm submitting it to you all via him.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Megan. I wasn't singling you out. I just said in general, all the officials.
But I understand. I completely understand. That's totally reasonable to want an opportunity to read it before the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, that might be my bad. It's been going straight into the Google Drive. So. Okay. I see multiple hands going up. So Janelle.
Sorry, Megan. Follow-up
No problem.
question. So the dog park that was off of Punahou got damaged during this storm. How long is it going to take to get repaired? But more importantly, maybe redone, because being surrounded by a tree is great, but as you can tell, the tree broke the fence. So is there maybe another way that we can redesign the dog park to be more feasible for users?
Certainly pose that question to, Department of Parks and Recreation in terms of, how long will it take to be, repaired or restored the current site. I can tell you that I was assisting with answering phone calls, at the Emergency Operations Center, and the city was just been inundated, because there's just been so many. Unfortunately, the entire island this time was impacted, and it was largely tree and, branches and debris. And so, not to say that this is not, urgent to try to assist everybody and to clean everything up, but, it's just everywhere so widespread. And I've seen, either firsthand or, photos. Unfortunately, there's just widespread damage. And so I can assure everyone that's listening that there are crews, there's even, volunteers that have come from elsewhere that are, trying to deal with first, safely removing, cutting down and then removing and chopping up. But it's a really large scale process, and then helping to, fix the fence. But I will certainly, pass along the request to, reconsider possibly reconfiguring the park. I recall that there were other concerns that had been expressed in the past about just the large, banyan roots and how it might be even just difficult to traverse the park. So we can certainly, bring that to, Department of Parks and Recreation's, attention for their reconsideration. But in terms of, just kind of restoring the current site, certainly I know that, parks will certainly work on that, but it's just in a queue, with unfortunately a lot of different things. So no excuse, but it's just, an incredibly high volume, just with everybody, and they're trying to assist even people, on private property. One of the things that, is being promoted on oneoahu.org is there are 2 Saturdays, this Saturday and next Saturday, where they're helping just residential, if even just trees and debris, yard waste, in people's residential areas had fallen, that they are offering 2 additional curbside pickups. So, everyone's just really inundated right now with trying to help to clear out, just things that are major safety concerns in roadways, on sidewalks, and then just trying to, I guess, like triage things. And so, certainly we'll bring all of these matters to your attention. Thanks for letting us know, and we just appreciate everyone's patience in advance as we work to resolve everything. Thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
Yes, Janelle.
Thank you, Janelle. Next, Nancy.
Hi.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Megan.
Hi.
So I've been spent 4 days this week, boots on the ground, volunteering, with saws, cutting trees, helping people who got their roof collapsed, stuff like that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You said, oneoahu.org is the best
Yes.
site? Okay.
Yes.
So I will pass that information along. Great job. Hopefully we can do more because I've seen so much this week and I know you guys have too. And we just got to do more because more and faster.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
And then I lost my other train of thought. Oh, so we tried to take some stuff to the dump today and it wasn't open till 2 p.m. I got to check with Hosoi from Island Outreach, but he was trying to take our load to the dump and he said they were closed until 2.
Okay.
So I don't know if
It's
that's if you can pass that on in some way, but that's really hard for people who are trying to clean up all of the debris and everything.
right. No, I completely understand and I can, but yeah, definitely when you have a chance, it's both posted on the Department of Environmental Services website, but also just on oneoahu.org. There's information about this curbside green waste pickup that's just a special additional pickup this Saturday and next Saturdays. And you have to call to make an appointment. There's a phone number on both websites. And so you don't need to bring anything anywhere. You
Well,
basically
the
just
thing
need to
is
kind of,
there's so much of it.
yeah, but they're asking, and there's information on the website. So as long as it's just put curbside, doesn't even need to be in the green waste bin, but they understand there's like everybody just has, whole neighborhoods of it's just trees that fell down and then, chopped it up. And so people are like, okay, now how are we supposed to haul this or what are we supposed to do? So the Department of Environmental Services is trying to assist people so that you don't have to haul it yourselves, that they're going to come around to residential areas and just pick up these, branches and tree limbs and stumps that have been cut up, and
Okay, but
you
I'm
can just
gonna
leave them
thank
curbside.
you so much. I'm gonna give you an example and then get off. We cut a very huge tree that was leaning over the house that's root collapsed, part of it. And then, I mean, this tree was huge. So this would have taken environmental services. They would have had to do several loads themselves just for that one tree. So even if you make an appointment, that's one appointment and they can only take a little bit, right? So we've got people volunteering, bringing their trucks, helping to take things, but then we take them down and the dump is closed. So whoever you can pass it on, like, why is the dump closed? I know they're probably overwhelmed too, but I guess everybody is, but whatever we can do about that.
I think I will certainly pass that on, but I would definitely recommend, just because the situation is fluid, and I know just all of the different city locations and services, they're trying their best to come back online, or to, even if they are back online, to handle just high volume service volumes. But I would also recommend checking on the Department of Environmental Services website to see, which different like locations, because I think that actually, and I'm sorry, I don't have it off the top of my head, and I'm having internet trouble, so I'm not able to fire up my my laptop. I kept on getting dropped, so I'm on my phone, so it's hard for me to look it up right now. But I know that the ENV website has information, up to date information about which one of their transfer stations or sites, facilities are open right now, because I think that there's maybe slightly different hours or different locations open right now. So to maybe just double check or call before going down there, because I think it's not entirely business as usual. And just to remind everybody, tomorrow's, for example, a holiday before admissions day. So just check the information, and again, like that oneoahu.org website, trying to keep everyone up to date on the different changes in service, either additional services or modified or reduced services.
Yeah, so
But I'm sorry for that.
I
I
totally
understand.
understand it's a lot, yeah. But if
Yeah,
there's
I'm
any
sorry
way
for
that
that.
they can let people know, because when we go and look, they post their hours, but then that's not what happened today.
Okay, I'm
is what
so sorry
saying.
to hear that. I will pass that on. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Okay, next, Sam.
Yeah, Megan,
Yes, hi.
there's there's an article that just came out in Honolulu Civil Beat, and it talks about the city council wanting to get approval for these higher skyscrapers, and they're coming out with, agreements that they do bike lanes and assorted other things. And I've been posting on Nextdoor Neighborhood Board Group a bunch of information about vacant apartments. Now, this vacant apartment thing was in Los Angeles, and they said that some buildings are 80% 80% empty. And the question is, we got a lot of expensive condos, and they're probably empty over here. Does anybody have any numbers on what percentage of these buildings are when you go at night and you take a look, it's all dark. So it makes you wonder what percentage. And should we have a bill that basically says, the people that own these apartments should pay rent or, a tax on them if they don't fill the thing. Now, I know that's been brought up and they've killed it a couple times, but I'd like to know what the numbers of apartments are actually not. And they say you can find that out just by looking at their mail services and stuff.
Thank you for the question. I can inquire. I really not sure what kind of data might be available, but I can reach out to the different departments and see if somebody would be able to assist.
Thank you very much. And if they
Thank
need
you.
any information, go on Nextdoor Neighborhood Board Group, and it has all the facts from the mainland investigative reporters on other areas that have the same problem.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Claire.
Thank you, Chair. Claire Santos. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Claire.
And you can defer to DEM if you want to. Several years ago, I questioned Mayor Blangiardi at one of his town halls, that one in Manoa, where he was boasting kupuna housing in high rises, and I asked, what's your plan for a power failure or disaster? Because 80-year-olds can't come down 30 flights of stairs. He deferred it to Hiro Toya at the time, and Hiro said, government can't do everything. They'll have to put generators. In the duration, right after that town hall, there was a two-week blackout at one of the kupuna towers downtown. And we all saw what happened at Canterbury Plaza with this storm. Senior citizens up on the 40th floor. Has there been any plan in the duration? And I've been responding to disasters since Hurricane Iniki in 1992, wondering what's the plan? I mean, we've got Red Cross, Medical Reserve Corps, DEM, we've got all kinds of groups, CERT groups. Do we have a plan for helping kupuna in these disasters?
Claire, thank you for the comments and questions. I will have to inquire with the Department of Emergency Management and with the mayor's office, but I appreciate the question, and I will try to get some responses for you before the next meeting.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
Sam, did you forget to put your hand down? Okay. Are there any further questions for Megan? Seeing none, thank you very much, Megan.
Thank you. Everyone stay safe. Thank you.
You too. Next up is Councilmember Scott Nishimoto.
Aloha, Chair. This is Taylor from Councilmember Nishimoto's office. Oh, sorry. I guess my camera is not turning on. Oh, here it is. Anyways, we just wanted to, just hope everyone's doing okay. There's been so many constituents reaching out to us, updating us on the situation involving the power outages and water outages at their homes. And we are in touch with some residents in the Tantalus area, which I believe are still being affected, which is extremely unfortunate. and we have been getting some updates and trying to share them appropriately whenever we receive updates. But I do know some of the residents did call in and kind of notify us about the situation there, which is very unfortunate. And so we'll continue to try to send out resources via our e-blast, which we've been sending out like at least every other day since the storms have been going on. And we'll also keep tabs this weekend too to see how the weather fares with the new cyclone. But yeah, if there's anything you guys would like to bring up with my boss, with our office, please let us know. I'm happy to put in risers or try to help to address different things. So yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Taylor. Are there any questions? Grant?
As a Tantalus resident, thank you for your help. This evening, power was restored at 4:30, 5 days after power went out. So thank you for your help. One of the frustrations I think is communication with HECO and the ability to understand what and when they are doing things. They have a monopoly on the environment. We have no choice. And islands like Kauai have co-ops, and maybe this is an opportunity for the mayor and other government officials to look at taking back control of HECO. I was disappointed in their service, and I hope you can help us with that.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm really glad to hear your power was restored. Was that for your neighbors as well, you think?
Yes, that's correct for both Round Top and Tantalus Drive side. Because the city does not provide us water, we are all on catchment. We do not have water without power. So we
Yes.
appreciate the restoration 5 days later.
5 days.
I
Yeah.
know. But yes,
Thank you,
I'll share
Grant.
my comments with your boss as far as HECO goes. Thank you.
Are there any further questions for Taylor? Seeing none, thank you very much, Taylor. Next up, Councilmember Tyler DeSantis Tam.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Hello, Robin. Yes, we can hear you.
Hi. Yes, great to be here. Good evening. So first I want to start off with 2 events at Mother Waldron Park. One taking place next Saturday, August 29th from 8 to 10 a.m. It'll be a cleanup. Yes, it'll be hosted by the Friends of Halikuila Place, and everything will be invited, friends and family welcome. And there will also be a Royal Hawaiian Band concert Saturday, September 5th at 11 a.m. The Royal Hawaiian Band will be playing. As far as our newsletter, that is shared in our chat. Several things that our office has been putting together. We've been very busy. As I hope you folks know, our Doho bid in downtown has been very busy. It's been very successful in our Aloha ambassadors working hard downtown to maintain a clean downtown. That was through Bill 51, was introduced this year. We also have Bill 41, helped maintain and legislate and regulate e-bikes. That was actually signed by the mayor today. We also have improvements to A'ala Park. It was $100,000 that council member put in to this year's budget. We also have Peterbuck Mini Park. It will reopen summer 2027. And I will have more details to come. I think DDC will be giving us more details as the project comes along. But I'm here for any questions if you guys need me. Thank you.
Are there any? Thank you very much, Robin, for the report. Are there any questions for Robin? Janelle.
Hi, Robin. Thank you for your report. There is a concern that I have since we're talking about parks. So there was a stairway off of Iolani Avenue heading over to Doe Community Garden and Park off of Fear Street. and it's in disrepair. It's been in disrepair for quite some time. Some of the community members in that area, want access to that, and the city has not repaired it. So maybe that could be something to be looked at for parks. Also, with the Doe Park itself, it is completely muddy and not grassy. So I know that there's been a football league that's been going to there a lot. So is there a way that we can regrow the grass in the area? I know that's going to take money from the city, but if we're talking about improvements to city parks, that's one area of the council members district that was brought to my concern.
Yes, we can definitely reach out to the Parks Department on that to, I don't know how that would be to kind of relieve the park and maybe relocate to another park. That'll be interesting, question that we can pose to the department, but definitely I can reach out. Yeah, and I can let you know, hopefully by next month, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. Adam.
And I'd like to add that we would like to have some lights in Makiki Park. I think we've discussed this before, but just wanted to put it out there. Be nice.
I hear you. I'll make a note of that again. Yes. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. And seeing no further questions for Robin, thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good one. Next up is Governor Josh Green's representative, Russell Pang.
Aloha, everyone. Thank you, Chair. Good to see everyone this evening. I am one of those guilty parties who did not submit my report in a timely manner, so I will work on that. Thanks very much for bringing that to our attention. I did want to highlight a couple things that came up in the last meeting. There was a question about ownership of various roads, and one of the members, or possibly somebody in the community, asked if there was a list of which roads are privately owned, publicly owned, and I was able to track down a map. I was looking for something easier to navigate, but I do have a map. It's an online tool that the city, that the state has, and the city contributes to that map as well. It's not the easiest thing in the world to navigate, but if you give it your best shot, you can go in there, play with it a little bit, and you can determine which streets are owned by the city, the state, the private, if they're privately owned. Some are owned by military, and there are a lot of streets that are owned by various entities. So there's no easy solution. That link is in my report, which hopefully you will get soon. Let's see, there was also a question last month regarding the Roosevelt Gym and whether it has emergency generators, considering that it is designated for use as an emergency shelter. The school itself does not have emergency generators for the gym. However, in the event that the gym is designated as a shelter space, the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency will bring the generators, and the gym has the hookup for those generators. So that facility will be covered in the event that the facility has to be used for an emergency shelter. Also in my report, I did highlight some updates on what the state is doing regarding the storm recovery, Tropical Storm Lala recovery. One thing I did want to highlight, rather than going through the whole list, but if you are a recipient of a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits, SNAP benefits, and if you had food that had to be thrown out because your power was out for an extended period, or your house got damaged for whatever reason, if you used that, if you purchased that food with SNAP benefits, or if you know somebody who was in that situation, you are entitled to receive reimbursements for that. I have some links that I'll provide to you. It's also in my report, but you'll need to submit a written statement with all the details, just to confirm that you use the SNAP benefits, and the food you have to throw it out because of the power outage, and you have until September 3rd to submit that. So I will provide that information as well. And with that, I'll take your questions. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much, Russell. Amanda.
Russell, hello. That was me about the maps last time. I know ArcGIS, it is a pain in the butt. So I made an easier map. I made a PDF map so I can share that with our board. But I completely understand and agree. There are a lot of variances. It's a very nice, easy map. It's color coded, folks. So now we don't have any issues understanding the responsibility of our streets. We can go directly to the office if we have issues. I also made a map for our streams in Makiki. So we know whose is private, what is state, and there is one block that is city and county. But I just wanted to pick your brain because last time we kind of talked about a map for signage, because whenever our signs get taken out by a car, a person, whatever, there is not a map that I have found yet on ArcGIS. I'm happy to make one. I will walk all of Makiki, but I wanted to pick your brain if you had it, but I know you're extremely busy with the storm. Let me know.
Amanda, thank you. That I forgot to bring that one up as well. And I want a copy of your maps, by the way.
I'll send it.
As far as a map of different signs, I was not able to find one that the state maintains for the public. The problem is there's the city signs, there's the state signs, and they go up frequently and they come down frequently as well. So I did not find a map that is available to the public with every street sign. Yeah.
No worries.
I'll keep looking, man.
No worries. You'll find mine when I get it done. I'll publish. I'll send it your way. Thank you so much, Russell. I
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Can't wait.
Thank you, Amanda. I think I'll take Janelle and then Linda. Janelle?
Thank you, Chair. Hi, Russell. Thank you for
Hi,
your
Janelle.
report. Real quick question. We've consistently seen Tantalus and Round Top have issues with erosion. Has DLNR, because this is going to be the 4th time that it's eroded and it's now closed again, looking into the possibility of structuring the roadway and the sidewalls of the mountain so that it doesn't erode and cause more issues during storms?
I can discuss that with the DLNR folks to see what areas they might be able to assist with in that. So yes, I'll look into that, Janelle.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. Linda?
Aloha, Russell.
Hi, Linda.
Hi. I wanted to follow up. Maybe it's in your report. I asked last time about Keimoku Bridge, so I was wondering if you
Yes,
information about
Keimoku
that.
Street. Yes, you had asked. It is in my reports. You had asked if the sidewalks on the Keimoku Street overpass could be widened a little. Is that correct? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
The issue with that is if you widen one or both of the sidewalks, that would encroach into the lanes of the overpass, and that could it might not meet the minimum standards of the width of the lanes. So
Thank you for checking. I appreciate it very much.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Linda. Ian?
Thank you, Chair Char. Using the handy map provided by Amanda Kirby, I want to reiterate what I mentioned earlier to the city and the mayor's representative about the bridge at Liho. So it looks like most of it actually falls towards the state, and there has been a growing encampment there recently. And with the tropical system strengthening, and we just saw a recent storm, I just wanted to encourage the state to perhaps, do outreach to the people experiencing homelessness and living in that area, and especially look into the growing amount of stuff in the area that could cause blockages in our streams. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ian. Yes, thanks for bringing that up. Yes, I did put a note down when that was brought up that that area does fall under the state highway. So we will look into that. Our homeless coordinator does send out a team regularly to monitor the area. Leading up to Tropical Storm Lala, the team did go by that area. They wanted to, alert the individuals who were under the overpass. What they do typically when the storms approach is, they'll do their outreach. However, they can't force individuals to move. And because of the severity of the storm, they did not want to, put them out. They were sheltered under the overpass. So they may not have wanted to move them at that time. But our team does do regular monitoring and outreach in that area.
Chair Char, may I do a clarification?
Go for it.
I believe you may have heard me say Lunalilo. I'm actually referring to Liho. So that's a little bit above Wilder, and I'm talking specifically about the stream, not the freeway overpass.
Oh, okay.
This is people in the stream location.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for
Ian.
clarifying for the freeway. That is useful information. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Okay. Seeing no further questions for the governor's representative, thank you very much, Russell.
Thank you, everyone. Aloha.
And next up, State Senator Carol Fukunaga.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to see so many people here in person after what has been a very harrowing set of experiences. But for those who have been following a lot of what has happened on Tantalus, part of what we have also been looking into is whether or not the transmission lines need to be hardened, and the ones that are going over the Ko'olaus, which affect Tantalus, as well as Kalihi Valley, are some of the ones that are at great risk. I think many of the lower areas were able to get their power restored a lot more quickly. One positive thing I wanted to share with the neighborhood board was that during the Kona lows, we had a lot of flooding and drainage concerns in Manoa. However, as a result of a town meeting that we had regarding some of the emergency funding that we had put into the budget this year, Department of Transportation and Department of Facility Maintenance, the city and state did get together, in between storms, and they managed to clear and remove a lot of the overgrown vegetation and silt in Manoa Stream just ahead of this week's hurricane. And so people were very happy, that occurred. And I think part of what we're now seeing is a willingness to work together between the city and state, because it will save both time and money. So what I wanted to highlight tonight was basically Makiki Stream. I know Ian brought that up as well. And there's areas that really could use some attention. So perhaps, after this month's neighborhood board meeting, if neighborhood board would send us some recommendations, I would definitely appreciate it, because we want to look to see how we can get city and state agencies as well as communities working together to identify some of the problem areas and tackle those first. We still need to have a long-term plan, but for now, as we're going through this super El Nino season, This is kind of the first thing. Quick note about the Safe Streets Initiative. It was really very well done by the city agencies yesterday. And for everyone who lives around Wilder Avenue, I would encourage you to go online and take a look at the online presentation because comments are being solicited now. And, you know, anytime we talk about parking or lack of parking in Makiki, it is a big deal. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Carol. Are there any questions for, yes, please.
So Jason Collins, living in Makiki. And actually, I'm glad that you were here because I actually addressed this to you. First, I want to begin by thanking you and 10 other senators who voted against the final version of Senate Bill 2342. I'm not sure if you recall that one, but that bill became Act 138 and beginning on January 1st, doubled Hawaii's mandatory minimum automobile liability insurances. For me, that's no longer theoretical. My recent auto insurance renewal increased by over 30%. I have a clean driving record, I have no tickets, I have no accidents, and so I called my insurance company to find out why and was told the increase was solely due to the new Hawaii law. What frustrates me is that the legislature was warned. Hawaii's insurance commissioner warned that the higher limits would significantly increase premiums. Even the Hawaii Insurers Council opposed the increase and warned that making insurance more expensive would result in lower income drivers not able to carry their insurance anymore. Meanwhile, one of the leading advocates for higher limits was the Hawaii Association for Justice that represents personal injury attorneys. And I'm not suggesting that there was anything improper or that seriously injured people don't deserve fair compensation, but personal injury attorneys do have skin in that game. Larger recoveries equals larger payouts. I think the public deserves to know who was advocating for this change and who was warning against it. Higher medical costs were used to justify the increase, but Hawaii already is a no-fault state. Drivers carry personal injury protection, and approximately 96.5% of Hawaii residents have health insurance, well above the national average. That doesn't eliminate our need for liability coverage, but it's a matter that we should consider before doubling a mandatory expense for Hawaii drivers. Then there's the uninsured driver problem. Nearly 11% of Hawaii motorists are estimated to be uninsured, and uninsured and insured drivers are already paying the higher premiums because of it. So why make insurance more expensive for the people already following the law? Senate Bill 726 proposes a real-time electronic insurance verification system allowing the state of Hawaii and law enforcement to know when coverage is issued, canceled, and terminated. Our current safety check system is only a snapshot, one day out of the year that they had insurance, and it can be canceled right after that. We also know that a better approach will work. Arkansas implemented real-time insurance verification, just like our bill is suggesting. Its uninsured motorist rate fell from 16% to 8.7% in just 3 years, a nearly 50% reduction. Instead of increasing costs for people who obey the law, that approach targets people driving uninsured. Yet Hawaii's electronic verification proposal has stalled, and I find it difficult to reconcile with the constant discussion about Hawaii's cost of living that we cannot call affordability one of our greatest challenges while adding hundreds of dollars to an expense people are legally required to pay. So Senator Fukunaga, I respectfully ask that you introduce legislation restoring the previous premium minimum insurance requirements while pursuing real-time insurance verification and stronger enforcement against uninsured motorists. Put the burden where it belongs. People who maintain insurance, drive responsibly, and obey the law should not be the easiest people to charge more. Thank you again to you and to your colleagues for voting no. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll definitely look for Senate Bill 726.
Thank you very much. Are there any further questions or comments for the senator? Oh, Linda.
Senator Fukunaga, I'd just like to acknowledge you for being in the community from I want to acknowledge you for being in the community for a very long time. This is my 30th anniversary in Honolulu, and when I just was fresh off the plane. I volunteered with somebody who said, let's volunteer. And I did a parking lot attendant fundraiser activity for you. And like you come to our neighborhood board meetings and your presence here means a lot to us. I just want to acknowledge you and thank you for taking the time to come and sit through the whole meeting and hear what we have to say and be involved in our community. On behalf of our neighborhood board, I know that we all appreciate it. So mahalo and thank you so much.
Thank you. You know, I think the key thing to remember is that Makiki is really a very special place. And, you know, during these turbulent storms, you kind of remember how, you know, it used to be so walkable and so comfortable. And I think in recent years, you know, as both city and state government have had a lot of vacancies, we don't have enough staff to take care of the roadways, the sidewalks, and, you know, many parts of the community. So what was encouraging to me in the case of Manoa Stream is people actually started mobilizing among themselves. Now, I hope it doesn't take, you know, a big flood incident or storm in Makiki to have that happen. But Neighborhood Board 10 is one of the leaders in energizing and mobilizing community action. So thank you for all that you do. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, Dylan.
Mahalo nui. This is an idea as it pertains to Senator's work with her Public Safety Committee, which I had briefly introduced her to, but many of you are probably familiar with the growing controversy around companies like Flock Surveillance and the idea that there are automatic nameplate reconnaissance that is going to use camera technology and cast you as a traffic violator without any sort of human judgment or the ability for you as someone who might be accused of a traffic violation being able to face your accuser in court because this is a non-person creating this decision. So maybe not the best time given everything going on with the hurricanes at all, but as you're looking forward to the next legislative session, I recommend that this may be an idea worth looking into. And given that Makiki is one of the most diverse neighborhoods on the island in every sense, this might actually be an issue that bridges a lot of divides. Mahalo.
Thank you for the recommendation.
Thank you, Dylan. Grant.
Senator, one quick question. I appreciate you being here. Is it something that you could look into on enforcement of our laws? We've touched on things like illegal encampments, required insurance, children being exposed to the homeless population, exposing themselves. It's something that I'd like to see our laws enforced, and anything you can do to help the community that follows the rules be safe and feel safe walking these streets would be appreciated.
You know, let me put in a plug for neighborhood security watch programs. You know, I know that Makiki is very dense. I think the Nice Neighborhood Committee has done a little bit of that type of activity. In other parts of the community, say in Kaka'ako and Lower Ala Moana section, they have had a pretty extensive and active neighborhood security watch program, you know, with their shirts and working with the Honolulu Police Department. One thing that does is it builds relationships between the community policing team and HPD members so that oftentimes people who are part of the neighborhood security watch become the trusted partners in that community. And I think that's something that can also help our area. I know there are a lot of people who work closely with, you know, the beat officers and those who try and keep the Lunalulu Freeway, Pecoy Street, and all of those areas clear. But, you know, I think neighborhood security watch is also something that we can get.
Okay, Nancy, I hope this is quick.
Right, there I am. I wanted to echo, thank you, Senator. Awesome, thank you, awesome work. And so I put in a request for Neighborhood Watch people to join the Neighborhood Watch. HPD had put a flyer out and I got one response online. And then, so, and anybody out there listening to this neighborhood board Let's do it. But, you know, we need people to get engaged. Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Nancy. And thank you very much, Senator. Okay, moving on to Representative, I believe, Della Bellatti's office. Oh, see. Next up, Kim Coco Iwamoto.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, Kate. Yes, Kate.
Wonderful. Hi, guys. Good to hear / see you all. Rep just, since it's the middle of interim, there are of course storm cleanups and preparations going on. But in the middle of that, Rep also wanted me to put out there that if you have specific legislation that you want to propose for the next legislative session, please feel free to send those ideas our way at repiwamoto@capitol.hawaii.gov. She wanted me to share just like a few ideas that have been sent to our office in the last few months. One is, let's see, reintroducing her empty homes bill from last year, reintroducing her free bus bill from last year, and hot topic, ranked choice voting. So if any idea is worth considering. So if you have an idea for a bill you want to have introduced next year, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you for the Thank you for the report, Kate. Are there any questions for the representative in Coco's office? Seeing none, thank you very much, Kate. And next we have Representative Andrew Garrett. Nope. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to community concerns from residents. Limited to 3 minutes each. Questions for HPTF, HFD, BWS, city officials, and state officials should be asked after their respective reports per the Sunshine Law. Concerns not on the agenda may be presented, but the board cannot take action. Are there any? Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Jolly King 2075 Keomoku. There's a house at 2059 Keomoku that's been operating as an illegal boarding house for over 10 years. And it has been reported. I know the police said they couldn't do anything about it, had to be reported, but somehow they got through the inspection, even though there are about between 9 and 11 tenants there. They were told that they only had an uncle and 2 nephews staying there, and everybody else was friends. Okay. So it's been operating for over 10 years. The concern is they bought the house and the property to redevelop. And they are now faced with the fact that if they tear down the house, they will lose 13 feet of frontage. So they're thinking that what they're going to do is renovate. And what we've heard, just gossip, neighbors and stuff, is that what they're thinking of doing is making it a dormitory and using their side lot as parking. Now, the house itself right now is 9 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms. And the concern is if they were to go through construction, getting permit, probably we're thinking that there might be a different process than if you're going in for a renovation permit. And it would be probably, if that's the case, it might be pretty easy to get a monster house. And if we couldn't close down the illegal boarding house, I'm not sure what we would do if we had a dormitory there. Both are illegal.
Can you repeat the address?
Oh, it's on the agenda. So we'll go ahead and revisit this a little bit further down under the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. So stick around, please. Thank you. Are there any other community concerns? Claire. Oh, you can.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Board. Since it's come up so many times this evening, I want to just talk briefly about disaster preparedness and what we do in our communities for kupuna and disabled. As you know, Roosevelt High School is now the enhanced refuge, can withstand winds to 149 miles per hour. It's very well reinforced. My neighbor is the architect. I know all about it. So I have been responding to disasters since Iniki in 1992 with the Red Cross Medical Reserve Corps, amateur radio, emergency communication, community emergency response team, et cetera, et cetera. First thing I will say is, don't become part of the problem. Don't go beyond your skill set helping a neighbor. I have chainsaw training. Those things hop, you know. You don't just go chop up a tree. So as far as helping Kupuna, this is a community concern because we don't have a formal plan. But if you do have such persons in your building, we post lists of supplies to have on hand for a disaster. They're posted all over creation. Visit your neighbor, ask them if they have everything, what they could need. Have extra. I have extra of anything. Okay. The other day, my neighbor who's a doctor had 15% battery. I had the charger so she could come. She was on call and she wasn't going to have phone service. Be ready to help a neighbor. Whatever you prepare for yourself, prepare extra, because somebody's going to need it. And just reach out to neighbors, because I'm trying to get my condo to at least store extra water bottles or something. Get the condo management involved to try and have certain things available, because if the elevator's out, the people aren't coming up and down the stairs. We need to be there for them. So that's my community concern. Let's all, do better to step up, because it is true that government can't do everything. But we're in Ohana land and we should be helping each other. Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you very much for the reminder, Claire. Okay, are there any? Yes.
Speaking of all the disaster and preparedness, I just want to throw one resource out there that I'm not sure many people are aware of. So I work in safety, and probably for the last week, I've had countless requests for emergency action plans. Employers in Hawaii who aren't aware, if you have 10 or more employees, you are required to have a written health and safety program under Title 29 of the Code of Federal Regulations. There is a wonderful website out there. If you or somebody you know owns a business, it is called readyrating.com. That is a partnership between the American Red Cross and the Canadian Red Cross for organizations, schools, any sort of organization, to evaluate their preparedness for all disasters and to provide them tons of resources so they can be better prepared. And honestly, I only found out about it myself as a result of what we all just went through. So now that I have this wonderful information, I've checked out the website. I think everybody should be out there sharing that with everybody. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Linda?
I forgot to mention this while HPD was here, but a resident also shared with me that on Makiki Street, there was a theft in the laundry area. And so I wanted to just put it on the record that a resident had expressed that concern.
Thank you, Linda. Okay, moving on to board business and presentations. Approval of written summary for video record, Thursday, July 16th, 2026. Are there any corrections? Seeing none, we have, oh, sorry, Richard.
Yes, page 2 of last week's minutes. The bottom paragraph there, once starting at 1758. Item number 5. It says member Kawano asked about federal agencies. So that's a misidentification. I wasn't there that night. Somebody that looks like me. I wasn't there.
Thank you very much, Richard.
Spirit. All right.
Yeah, you're in spirit.
You thought about it. Thank you.
You were thinking.
We knew you were thinking about it.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right, with the correction, do we have our minutes as corrected?
Right. I think we're good.
Perfect. We have our corrected minutes. Okay. the Vi-Home Cesspool Conversion Company presentation with James Roberts.
Thank you for having me, Chair Char, board. My name's James. My company, Vi-Home, is based on the North Shore. For the past 5 years, we've received funds from the state as well as the federal government to develop a more feasible alternative for cesspool upgrades than septic systems. And we're just now going to market with that product. We've seen a fair bit of interest from the Makiki-Tantalus community, so we thought we reached out to Nathaniel, and he was nice enough to allow us to speak here today. Essentially what our product is it's an above ground box that's installed between your home and your existing cesspool, then repurposed as a seepage pit. And it allows homeowners to upgrade their cesspool without excavation. The reason why we've seen interest in the Tantalus community is because a lot of homes in this area, it can be difficult to get an excavator behind the house on these ridgeline homes. And it also gets very difficult to pump a cesspool, pump a septic system, because pump trucks can't get access. Anyway, so I wanted to get the product out in front of you. Our website is www.wihome, that's WAIHOME.com. And then my email is james@wihome.com. I'm happy to take any questions. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation, Salasa.
Thank you. The original cesspool, you said it could be repurposed. It by law does not have to be removed. Officially, it can be repurposed.
It depends whether it is structurally sound and whether it can pass an injection test and whether it conforms to all setback requirements from the existing structure, property lines, that sort of thing.
And thank you. And then how quick typically does a system like this take to install?
Our system, it would take less than a day.
Okay, thank you.
And what is the cost and usage of this program or machine?
Sorry, I missed the end of that question.
How much? What is the usage like? How many people can use this?
Right. So the homes we're targeting at the moment are 3-bedroom homes, but it depending on how the DOH moves forward, it could potentially be more. And then cost, the unit we sell for $7,500. Installation, depending on the home, can range between $2,000 and $5,000 or so. And then engineering would be another $3,000. So we're aiming to keep it under 15.
And are you certified by the state right now?
We just received our IAPMO certification, and the state is currently going through the review process of that certification. So I would say still pending, but we're moving forward with engineering plans for our first homeowners to get them in front of the state to pave that pathway.
And how can I get a presentation at like a board meeting?
I would reach out to that phone number there. Natasha's on the other end of it, and she'll help you schedule that. You can also reach out to me. I can give you a card.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Eric and Richard. Adam.
Yeah, real quick, dehydrated solid waste. It's this model you got right here. It says 20 pounds, correct?
Yes.
And now do you come and pick that up, or is that compostable, or how does that?
It's a dehydrated solid product, so it's not already composted.
Right.
One could compost it.
Right.
Per the DOH regulations, screenings from a wastewater treatment process are not regulated. The DOH would recommend that you put it in your black bin for collection or take it to the dump. But it is absolutely an option to, like, we use it for as a soil amendment for planting trees, that sort of thing. But it is dehydrated, so I wouldn't just spread it on your garden.
Right. So I mean, you can do you provide a service to remove that solid dehydrated?
We currently don't. If we achieved enough density, then we absolutely would. but it's also something that can be piggybacked. We're happy to train if there's a community trash collection,
Community garden.
something
even?
like that. We'd be happy to train so that somebody else could provide that service within your community.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Are there any further questions?
Yeah, I have one more question.
Go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, the solids, are they compostable? Can they be degraded with like organic, like worms and stuff?
Yes, they can. Yeah, they're compostable. They're just organics. Basically, any solids that go down your drain is what comes out. So as long as what you put down your drain is organic, then what comes out will absolutely be so. And it's heat treated. So we treat it up to shoot, I'm Canadian, 80 degrees Celsius. So so hot enough to kill bacteria. Yeah.
Thank you, Richard.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Oh, thank you very much for the presentation. Okay, moving on to the next agenda item. That's your 2059 Keomoku.
Okay. I'm not sure what else you need from me.
Yeah.
Since
Okay.
I already blurted it all out.
Right.
I guess because they skirt the law a little bit on this one, is that we are concerned that we don't have any control and that we'll end up having something go in under, I don't know, it, and then we'll have to fight it in the end. And having a dormitory in that area, it just is not, but the thing is once it's there, he thinks because he can't tear the house down, I think that they're looking at, because they're losing the footage, is that the way to make the money back is to go ahead and then have a dormitory. The past on this is when we'd had 2 reports on it. One was after, there were 2 people that were killed up in North Shore, where 2 of the tenants of that house were the people that killed. And I actually made a call, a 911 call, a little bit before that happened, because the guy who was, I guess, committed for the murders, he was running around the house yelling, "I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you." Now, I didn't know if maybe he was on drugs or something, but we actually did make a phone call in because there was somebody. But the thing is that I don't, even if they were legal, I don't think that they're actually screening. So they've had as many as 15 people living there.
Yeah.
And the impact on the cars, parking, and we did come to an agreement, a little bit of sorts, that they would not have parties over there because, parties and no animals. But the thing is that we would like to prevent something rather than have to go back and try and fix it. So I don't know what our recourse is on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll we'll have DPP look at it. Yeah.
Okay.
Department of Planning and Permitting.
Yeah,
but-
because really, if the process for permitting is different from renovation than as it is for new construction, it could very easily slip in as a monster home. So that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you very much. Are there any questions or any further discussion? Janelle.
So I have 2 concerns. First and foremost, Kemoku Street, especially in that corridor, is very tight and narrow. And I believe they're building 3 homes on that lot down the road, which if they do propose getting the permits for a dormitory would increase the amount of traffic in the area. And, so I think neighbors are concerned with that itself, because you have 3 monster homes going up in that lot, and then now you're trying to make this into a super monster home. So in my opinion, that's something that the board can strongly oppose. Yes, it's a revitalization of the home itself, but it should be treated as a home and not as additional subunits. in my opinion. So I do agree that we need to address this as a board to try to mitigate further issues, especially with that neighborhood, because it is a tight squeeze, even with cars going up there.
Thank you, Janelle. Richard.
Yeah, I don't know who I brought this up with, but I just went to DC. I had a vacation, went visited the Capitol and all that. Place that we stayed at, they had major parking structures in the, I guess that's the hotel section. I think we're missing the point here. We're building more homes and not enough parking structures. I think we should like think about building a few massive ones and charging, we can charge people to have their cars parked over there, and maybe that would mitigate some of the parking problems. I mean, it looked like a good idea on the mainland. It was very clean, very well kept, not too much traffic, and it kept the area free from cars. Anyway, that was my suggestion.
Thank you, Richard. Oh, yes.
Just a little more information on that.
If you could give
lot.
us your name, please. Thank you.
Richard King.
Yep.
2075 Kiamoku, next door to the lot. Some other information, I spoke with the contractors that own the lot. Originally, they were going to put 6 homes on the lot, and they found that there is a setback when you come up Kiamoku Street. On the right side where it narrows, there's a 13-foot easement all the way up to our property line. And when they found out that, they reevaluated their plans. And one comment the contractor made was that since they can't use that area, they're going to make it as parking for the dormitory. And they're also looking at doing a CPR to put 3 additional houses in the back. They're associated with the other company that just built on Kiyomoku. They're putting 6 units on that lot that they just CPR'd. So parking is going to be a heck of an issue on that street pretty soon. According to the contractor, he said the way they're going to resolve the parking is they're going to take that 13-foot area in front of the house and put parking stalls in it. So it's, again, it's whatever we can do to look into it and possibly control that area be appreciated.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, we'll start with letting Scott Nishimoto, Councilmember Scott Nishimoto know, and then let Megan Johnson as well know, and DPP. And then we'll see what their responses are, hopefully by next meeting. Are there any further questions or comments?
One more comment.
Janelle.
Could we possibly invite those contractors to come and speak to the board? Just to hear out what their plans and intentions are so that the neighboring community can also weigh in with them in person?
Sure, we can try to reach out to them.
Thank you.
Oh, not you.
Ken Lau with Pro Builders is the contractor that owns the property. Yeah, it's Pro Builders. I won't say their phone number online, but
Oh, if you could
share.
come around here and give it to our neighborhood assistant. Thank you. Okay, seeing no further questions or comments on this, thank you very much for sticking around and letting us know, and we'll follow up. Okay, next on the agenda is the discussion on Makiki District Park pool improvements. Is anybody here for the pool? No. Okay, I'll have to get in contact with the pool folks. Basically, they let us know there are a number of issues. Basically, that led to the pool being unannounced, closed multiple times. Things ranging from chemical imbalances to understaffing, and possible maintenance issues that led to the park being closed, and they're not reporting it properly on the Department of Parks and Rec website. So it was noted that a number of folks who are disabled will actually try and catch the bus and get there, and then they get there, and after spending all that time, the pool is closed, and so there's a very, very bad for them. So I will follow up with those folks and see if we can get them to show up and get their input. This is part and parcel with our larger issues that our park is just lacking in improvement. Linda.
I was there when a lady said her daughter dropped her off and she was going to go swimming. And she was like, oh, it's closed. So we looked at the sign and it said it was supposed to be open and it wasn't open. We both tried to open the gates and then she said, oh, I'm going to have to call my daughter to come and get me. So I'm a witness to what happened at the park for that one person.
Little Parks Department.
Yeah, thank you very much, Linda. Are there any further comments or concerns? Okay, seeing none, we'll go on to the Wilder Avenue Safer Streets Initiative follow-up. Okay, so it was very well attended. The place was pretty packed, but really, as Senator Carol Fukunaga noted earlier, on the back of her newsletter, there is a QR code. Please, please, please scan the QR code and provide input on their. They put up a number of proposed changes, a lot of lane changing, and other various temporary improvements to Wilder and Peekoi. And this is our time to really give what we have to say about those improvements. Otherwise, I'm hopeful about the improvements. They look fairly good, in my opinion, now that I've had kind of a chance to sleep on the improvements. So yes, really provide your input. I'm happy to. There are actually quite a lot of improvements. It would be difficult for me to sit around and present on it. But I'm happy to get together after or whatever to kind of go through a quick run through. Arthur. Oh, microphone, please.
I'd like to recommend that the next Safe Street be held at a place where there's parking.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yep. The Blaisdell is a idle place. Why did we hold it here with virtually no parking? I missed because I couldn't find parking.
Yeah, thank you, Arthur. Yep, that's we'll have to, I guess, if they happen to hold a follow-up meeting, very much would like to have it, in a place that we can all park at. Nancy.
You see me with the, hi, everybody. I rushed down here because I wanted to see your faces. Enjoy doing that every month. So the Safer Streets. I was speaking with the representatives and submit your photos. Okay, submit your photos, submit your documentation, don't just send in, fix this, right? Give them background for it, right? And then as I was leaving that meeting, I went up Wilder and saw somebody die. Okay, right after that meeting. Took, that curve from Wilder and then it turns into Thurston that goes up, right? And people just whip around that corner. So somebody did that. And then he made a U-turn to try to get into a parking on the other side of the street. And he hit a moped and there was a lot of blood.
Yeah.
So as Wilder goes up and turns into Thurston, or well, Wilder goes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What would that be? Wilder?
Yeah, just past Pensacola, yeah, where it goes to
Thurston, Wilder goes up and then turns, yeah. When you turn, it's Thurston. So somebody whipped around that corner, tried to make a U-turn right there at that curve, right? And took out a moped, and it was not pretty. And then I stood there in shock for about 40 minutes, and I just watched the traffic, and I watched people speeding around that corner, not ignoring the stop sign. And I was in shock for the rest of the night, watching that person pass away. Huh? Nobody stops. So I'm going to be turning that in with some photos that I took. There's also 2 lights out over there, 2 street lights out on that corner. So I'm going to be turning that in with photos and my story, and along with other things. So please, go around your area, take the photos, turn in the documentation, give them something to care about. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Nancy. Any other questions or comments on this Wilder safety and Upper
Quick
Pequot? Oh, I'm sorry, Janelle. Yes.
So the interactive map that's available online through Safer Streets is actually really good. So besides submitting all of your photos and your comments, you can actually place certain things in areas that you feel would be beneficial to the Safer Streets. So if you guys have access to technology, I would encourage that.
Thank you very much, Janelle. Yes, Amanda.
I have a quick question on Upper Pequot. They do have, I have the map from the meeting, but on Upper Pequot around the corner, they have proposed changes of, it just says sidewalk. My understanding in Makiki is sidewalks were the private parcel's responsibility. So does anybody know? Do you know? Because I would love that for them to prioritize sidewalks, because that's a huge issue here in Makiki, because they're so diverse in needs and their care.
In the microphone.
In the past, the board has recommended certain areas be done public sidewalks. And that's why you develop the Makiki sidewalk. It is 2 rows of bricks and then asphalt in between, but it works. And so yes, we have had that ask in certain areas, because it gets kind of a burden of everybody trying to do their own pay for the sidewalk. Yeah. So they've done it before. We could ask again.
Well, they did on their little map that they gave out at the meeting, they will be adding sidewalks to the Upper Makiki. So by the fire station and up around that one-way corner curve. So we will see, but just wanted to mention that. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't catch that on the first go, so thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, because okay. All right. Are there any further questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the Oahu Metropolitan Planning Organization, Citizen Advisory Committee. Is there anything new, Adam?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they canceled the meeting.
That's right. Okay. Thank you. Okay, board announcements. The next regular meeting, the Makiki-Lower Punchbowl-Tantalus Neighborhood Board number 10 is scheduled to meet on Thursday, September 17th, 2026 at 6 p.m. At Makiki District Park, Old Makiki Library, 2nd floor, and online via WebEx. Broadcast, social media, and board info. The meetings can be viewed on Alelo Focus 49 on the first Friday at 9 p.m. and third Sunday at 3 p.m. Follow us at www.facebook.com/MakikiNB and visit www.8.honolulu.gov/NCO/NB10 for Makiki Neighborhood Board info. And we can entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'm entertained.
Okay. Yes.
Can I just say one thing?
Okay, we've got time. What would, yes, go ahead.
It's about the neighborhood security watch that Carol brought up earlier.
Oh, yes.
Can you guys go and look at this? I'm sorry, I'll make copies for next time, but it's the, HPD posted posted this notice to join a neighborhood security watch. So if any of you want to get that together, I'll make copies of this or I'll find it online, but it's on their site. So I found it.
Yeah.
And we can talk about it later, or I don't know, maybe we can't, but let's try and do this, okay? Thanks.
Yep. Thank you very much, Nancy. Okay, and we'll go ahead and adjourn a little early at 8:05. Oh, gosh.